Hello people, this is Ryder here to review the Kamen Rider Geats Support Mission Box Type Geats and Weapon Raise Buckle Set. So yeah, there's a lot to explain. So this is the third mission box to be released, but this is going to be the first one we can actually cover because we can't cover the other two due to their ties with the Legend Rider raised buckles, to which we have to hold back on, as we have to always. So if you want reviews of those, you're going to have to wait half a year. Not half a year, you're going to have to basically wait a year. So here we have Geats Power Builder, an actual suit of it, alongside the mission box, the weapon raise buckles that they dubbed up. The functionality with these weapon raise buckles, cautions, warnings, and such. Everything you can do with the mission box. The contents alongside the QR code for the PDF, and just a summary and overview of what you can do with it. I don't like how inconsistent this is, because typically this stuff is at the top, but for some reason they put it here. Like, yes, it gives us this cool like collage, and I appreciate this is like the first item in like a while to actually have suit images. How sad is that? So here we have the contents out. We'll move the raised buckles to the side and take a look at the support mission box. So basically, I think the context of these boxes within the show is that these are Ryder, like, the thing with these ones is that these ones are actually Ryder specific. Obviously, this one's the type Geats one due to the supporters being able to like summon mission boxes for that Ryder. So the core 4 Riders have one. It's just that they only release Geats. We can potentially get the other 3 via Premium Bandai, but we don't. Not through the leaks. So basically, here we have the DGP logo right here. And basically, it's the same exact mold that we had from the previous 2 boxes. It's just that the top, obviously, it's actually different now, because this one's actually screwed on, unlike just being pegged in or clipped in, because you can still see the clip holes, but like, I don't know, like, this is actually my favorite one. I kind of wish they stuck with this or something like that. And I do like the white for these and such. But obviously, here's the lid. Here's the inside. It's filled with a bunch of dirt, melted snow, foam. I can't clean it out. But yeah, you know, so we have our standard clips for the raised buckles, the desired driver, and such. Again, if you actually want proper look, if you want a proper look at this, you're gonna have to wait a year. I'm sorry. What do we want to do? Because we're not. If you want to see the desired driver in here, wait for the first one. Temperature. So the main thing with this one is that we finally have a box for powered builder. Because this one definitely is confusing to put in. So obviously you want to utilize the center clip like so. So you just want to clip it in. You want to clip it in. Or like, at least let it sit in. Because I think this one, these buckles struggle, but this one is at least the most solid in there. And then the last step you want to do is actually, I think they want you to do it like that. Or you can just hold it down fully like that, but I think they mostly want you to do, yeah. So you want to push it down fully flush, And now, canonism. So, well, I mean, the actual show had it as. This is how the show had it. So, you know, you can just, you know, you can rent out a school for some reason, and then role play around, find this thing, kick it, and then, well, and then just pull out the buckle like so, and whoop-de-doo, you have your raised buckle. But then you also can use your weapon raised buckles, and again, use them in a slot, which it sucks, which is why it's just more preferred if you just slot them in like so. So then they will actually stay in, unless you do that. But then they, you know, when you flip it around, they at least like come back around. And last but not least, you can take another raised or mission box and sit it on top. So then you can have a tower of these things and such. I still have yet to pick up more of these ones, because I really want to use these ones for my Legend Rider buckles, but oh well. But yeah, that's basically it of the mission boxes. So let's take a look at the weapon raised buckles and fix this entire mess. So here we have the first of the weapon raised buckles. Here is the Magnum shooter raised buckle, I think it's called. To which, you know, these are basically the same bases as the armed weapons. It's just now they're actually based off of specific weapons from its corresponding raised buckle. So in the case of this one, this is the Magnum shooter 40X. Really like the white plastic. I think it's basically the same as the mission box. This one is 062. QR code for something, because at this point Gamba Rising isn't a thing anymore. So I think at this time it was 1 month left. It had its 1 month before Gamba Legends, but I don't know. This one is definitely the weirdest, because this one is kind of like the reverse, because you would expect to pull the foxtail back, but instead you actually pull the entire gun. Which, it makes sense. Like, it does work. And again, it basically is the arrow thing of just pulling back. But I mean, at this point, I'm not upset. They at least made it work. It's just that, yeah, definitely this one is the weirdest. But I do appreciate there was effort to at least extend it. Though it kind of gets stuck. Probably because of this part. Like, I don't know. I think this part's... They definitely covered up the screw holes. And then the peg for the Magnum shooter. And I'll do quick comparisons because there's not really anything to compare with these. But the only similarity they have is, spoilers, they have the same track. Also, the thing here too is that they have holes now. So, next up, here we have the Ninja Door raised buckle. To which this one's definitely interesting because this one's just gray. But I mean, it's the color scheme of the Ninja Door. I can't blame them for that. This one has 2 holes. And this one is, of course, 064. QR code for nothing. And then, again, I do at least appreciate they colored the blade. And again, this one, you pull back, and it becomes 1. So this one uses the arrow mechanism. However, this one's really clever, as, like, obviously opening it up makes it the twin blade, and then when it retracts back in, it's now the single blade. That's really smart. And then just that peg coming out. Again, here are the two buckles. And then here are the two tracks. Last but least, here's the Zombie Breaker Rays buckle. I do appreciate it is purple, but I don't know. This one definitely looks weird. This one's really stubby. I mean, it's not bad. First of all, I have to apologize. My camera's making this a lot darker. But I mean, I at least appreciate... Oh, first of all, I want to say I'm happy that these actually have more than like just silver. This one has silver, obviously, because it's just purple. But this one, of course, is 063. The QR code, an additional hole. This one uses the mechanism of water, which we simply just swing this down and such. This is not as this is obviously the same springiness as water and not of propeller, because it's kind of really stiff. But I mean, I like this. It makes sense. It just kind of gets stuck, but and also it doesn't really like center itself. So there's that peg once again. And then here it is with the zombie and the track. So we will just transform, well, not necessarily transform, we will do it how we did in the show, where this comes out of nowhere and he just immediately slots it into the buckle. I mean, it makes my job easier. Obviously, the finishers are going to be all the same. Door. Obviously, it just inserts the name of the buckle, but I don't mind it. I like listening to it. Lastly, also, I really like how they handled the perspective of these, because obviously when you just use them as a normal raised buckle, they look really odd except for Magnum, or the Magnum shooter. However, obviously, because these ones are basically like turned around, I like how they handle them basically like parallel. Like, I feel like the Ninja Duel is probably the best one because it's actually like, you know, the correct orientation, even though I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be this way. So like the Magnum shooter one is like the Magnum shooter is definitely the weirdest one just because it's up. But yeah, that's basically it for that. So Seeker disconnected too, so we're just gonna have to go without LEDs. Obviously these are basically the same, just build them up. Obviously, I think you should already know what the finishers are, but I forgot to say. Obviously, so basically the whole purpose of these buckles is that they actually allow Geats to use the weapons of these buckles, or they allow him to use the weapons and such. Like, when he uses this one, it actually gives him the Magnum shooter. I forgot to say that. So, like, obviously, when whoever uses these ones, obviously, you would get the Ninja Door or the Zombie Breaker and such. And then, last but not least, we only do this with, we'll do it with, Zombie, the Zombie Breaker. Again, if you want to see the rest of that, just watch the demo. And we will keep Seeker on, just he needs screen time. So obviously, as you already saw, these things reuse the same tracks as their original counterparts. So if we were to use Magnum, as you can tell, it's still a green LED. And then just pull it back. And then the finisher is obviously going to be the same. Obviously, I mean, at least this buckle gives you a reason as to why you would just want to do it once and such. But, we'll do a leg. Because this one still functions the same. Oops. As you can, obviously, because this is how this track works, so you can just do that. But yeah, they're not really that different. Obviously, that means they're going to be the same within the Magnum shooter. Just watch the demo. Obviously, I am missing one more thing, but I'm holding it off because to give that thing a purpose. But yeah, overall, this is probably the best set of the three mission boxes, even though you're not really getting anything new, just because of the fact these are just basically miniaturized versions of buckles that already existed. But I mean, that was going to happen no matter what. Like, this would have happened, like, potentially within, like, Gashpon and Candy Toy if they actually bothered. But we'll get to that. I mean, this is the most jam-packed one because you actually get 3 buckles instead of just the one, like the first one. And also, like, they do have a purpose because they can only fit, they actually do things in here. So basically, again, I just like how the Geats toy line handles things, of just trying to get it out as soon as possible. Even if it did take an additional 3 months, I'm glad that they actually, like, released everything for this. Now, as for alternatives, if you didn't want to get the box for some reason, well, the thing is that Magnum's actually exclusive to this box, as Ninja and Zombie, or the Ninja Door and the Zombie Breaker are a part of Shogun 5, which we will cover. It's just that they made Magnum exclusive to this for some reason. Even though I think they could have actually just threw it into that set, just because most of the sets are up to 6. So I don't know why they went with an odd number. But honestly, like, I feel like you should just go for this box anyway. Just because, unless you really don't have the space for the boxes, and I guess try to find this thing loose. But these two are in Candy Toy. Nothing changed. Maybe the numbering and probably how the pins are. I don't know. There might be a difference, but other than that, a really solid set overall. But like, again, just because the fact that this thing's corresponding to Power Builder really makes it like actually worthwhile to like you know it actually makes this like video actually for us. Gosh, we actually have a lot of things to purposeful things to do instead of just using these things in the desire driver, basically. Because basically, if they did put these out without Powered Builder, yeah, this set is pointless. But because Powered Builder exists, these actually have a meaning, even if only this one got briefly used once. That would do with this review. This is Ryder. I'll leave people another too long video.